Here to mix it up, the host of the Young Turks, Cenk, and blogger for politicsdaily.com, Matt Lewis. Cenk, where are the Democrats headed here?
Well, they seem to be celebrating over this historic victory, and I get why. There's a lot of good things in this bill, and they address people who didn't have insurance, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm a little worried about where they're headed, because this seems like they're hanging a mission accomplished sign up, and I'm not sure it is accomplished. We still have the same insurance companies, and they could hike our premiums at any moment, and I don't think there's an effective way of stopping that through this bill. And if the Democrats think that that's good enough, I'm worried that the American people are going to disagree when their rates go up again.
Yeah, Matt, I agree with Cenk in the sense that, yeah, they have achieved the incredibly admirable goal of coverage, obviously, and they've done it with the most outrageous set of backroom deals and accommodations to special interests we've seen since the bank bailout. It leaves a lot of people on the right who say they shouldn't have done this, and a lot of people further left, if you will, of those who are into accommodating game rigging and special interests, although I don't know how that's lefty-righty. Do you think the Democrats understand that what they've done, while they've achieved the politically desirable with covering the uninsured and the humanly desirable, that the way that they did it is more evidence of how screwed up our government is than the fact that it works?
I don't think so, Dylan. I think that they are hanging the mission accomplished banner up. They're just so proud to have accomplished something and to have passed something, and frankly, it's understandable why they are. It took them a year of focusing on this issue, health care, which frankly was not one of the top 2 or 3 issues that the American people care about. The American people, according to polling, care about jobs right now in the economy. So I think they're just happy that they passed something, but you're right. I mean, essentially, the people who should be most happy about this are the insurance companies. We're now mandated by law to buy a product from companies, from insurance companies.
Not only mandated, but they also have a monopoly because they've got an antitrust exam. I mean, we all know that. Listen, the big winners, the uninsured, the big winners, drug companies and pharmaceuticals and insurance companies. Thank you, Democrats, and thank you, Republicans, for a pathetic opposition, for refusing to call out Democrats for their obvious catering. America deserves a better ruling party, in my opinion, and a better opposition party to call out a ruling party that does this sort of thing. I want to turn to the closed-door dealings between President Obama and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Of course, the Prime Minister leaving the White House around 9 p.m. last night after 2 different meetings with the President to discuss the settlements in Jerusalem, East Jerusalem specifically. The U.S. opposes those settlements in a part of the city where Palestinians hope to one day have their capital, the Palestinian section of the city. The White House remains tight-lipped about the details of those meetings, not allowing a single photo of those meetings.
When the president holds events and does not allow photographers in, it implies that the president is hiding something, is embarrassed about something.
We were very comfortable with the coverage for last night's meeting.
There was no coverage.
Not everything the president does is for the cameras and for the press.
Cenk, why don't you have a crack at that one?
I don't think coverage is the issue. Yeah, that's okay. I don't think coverage is the issue at all. If the president wants to do something behind closed doors, that makes perfect sense. There's no problem with that at all. The real issue is how Congress is dealing with this, because Netanyahu, his government basically slapped Joe Biden across the face when he was in Israel and dared him and basically said, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to keep building these settlements even though you're against that and you came all the way over here to start the peace talks. And when Netanyahu goes to Congress, what does Congress do? They totally undermine the president. That's the one thing that they were bipartisan on. They undermined our foreign policy and basically telling Netanyahu he has carte blanche to build any settlements he likes and he can go ahead and ignore our president. It's a terrible idea by the Democrats and Republicans.
Do you think that's because Congress is once again catering to the money flow that comes from AIPAC and other funding sources?
You know, look, they've got their constituencies, they've got lobbyists, there's special interests, of course. But what's obvious is that they don't care about the the substance of this, and they apparently don't care about the peace process. We're supposed to help Israel.
Dylan, because look, I think that there's people talk about money and the lobbyist influence, but Israel is our number one ally in a very difficult part of the world, and I think there's a very good philosophical.
Why is it difficult?
There's a very good philosophical reason to support Israel. This is their territory. They won it in 1967, and essentially what we're asking them to do is to turn over to their sworn enemies, people who want to destroy them, who don't even recognize that they exist, part of their territory. I think we should stand with Israel on this, and the fact that the United States is openly, I think, undermining our ally in the region, that's the real issue.
Cenk, real quick.
It's ridiculous. Why do we have such problems in the region? It's because we support Israel 100%, no matter how right-wing their government is.
We know where you stand.
We have to be a friend. We have to be a friend and actually work towards peace. And the way you do that is by being even-handed and not being foolishly right-wing.
One at a time. Go ahead, Matt, real quick.
Peace through strength. You don't get peace by giving away territory.
Yeah, how's that worked out for you?
Every time Israel
how's that worked out for you, Matt?
60
years. How's that worked out for you? Peace through strength. You haven't gotten peace at all. All you've done is, more bombings, more oppression, and how'd that work out for you? You got peace?
Does not work.
You don't
Every
have
time
peace.
Israel has continued to give away territory, and it hasn't gotten
really?
Peace.
When was the last time that happened?
Trust me, every time that they give these concessions,
I don't trust you.
They're not.
I don't trust you at all.
Obviously, you don't. Look, we have a deep philosophical difference over this, but I think the bottom line is that Israel's our ally. We should support them. You obviously don't support Israel. That's okay.
Well,
that's your position.
No, that's not true at all. Again, you're lying. It's how you support an ally.
I'm lying.
Look at this rhetoric. You're lying about my position. You said I don't support Israel.
This is not the type of rhetoric we should engage in. Civil conversation. You just called me a liar.
I agree. I agree with you.
But that's because you made up a position about me. You made up my position. You said I don't support Israel. That's not true. How do I know? Because it's my position.
Well,
how could you possibly know what's in my head?
You want them to give away territory. That's not supporting them.
Of course I do, for peace. So you want them to be in perpetual war. You hate Israel. You hate Israel because all you want them to do is engage in war for the rest of time. You think that's going to help them?
Your rhetoric is out of line. It's typical from, I think, a leftist
am I out of line?
Position.
I'm sorry.
You are. This is not the type of civilized dialogue we should have in politics.
Right.
I think we should sit down. Let's have a beer.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Did to Biden civilized?
Yeah.
Is what Netanyahu did to Biden civilized?
Matt?
Yes, guess what? He runs that country. He is the prime minister of Israel. We shouldn't be telling him how to run his country.
And we should run our country. We should run our country. And when Congress, imagine if they did that with anyone else, with other allies, whether it's Turkey or Britain or Jordan or Australia.
You think that we should go over there and tell Israel they are surrounded by their sworn enemies who want to destroy them, who don't even recognize, do not even recognize their right to exist, and you want them to concede.
Turkey's surrounded by sworn enemies. Who cares? That doesn't mean you agree with their government no matter what. Turkey has a right-wing government now. Should we agree with them 100%? They're bordering on Muslim fundamentalism. No, we shouldn't agree with them 100%.
Should Turkey give away their territory to Israel?
Surrounded by enemies.
Should we tell Turkey that they have to give away their territory so that there can be peace? That if they give away...
It depends on
the
context.
The Greeks would love to have Istanbul. That might bring about peace. Let's just have them do that. Let's send Biden
I'm going to jump in here because I'm going to jump in here. I will say that in the history of Mix It Up, it has never been mixed up as well as you two have been mixing. All right? Listen, that was take that as a compliment. I appreciate both of your passion.